Well, driving around, beat the rain. Big deal today. I only had a couple of things to do with the barn, and we didn't have any of our own over at the Meadows today, but Jody Jameson has a horse with Stacy Miller also, like we do, and he was racing today. Now, when he originally asked me to drive his horse, I said, yeah, I'll be over there. We generally always have horses in on Thursday. Had none in today. So she comes out, not only did we have none in, but he drew the outside. I've known Jody a long time, and although anybody, I'm sure, could have driven that horse today, I told him I'd go over and go with him. And I did. He was second in 54, raced good, so good for Jody. I got a 2-hour drive home, and I thought I would bring everybody just a little update. I don't want to dive too deep into the 2-year-olds because I want to do that with Amy and talk with you on Saturday about the babies, but I do want to bring all the updates. I'm going to give you a brief look at where the horses are, where they are in my mind, and I'm not talking about stake-wise because that would be silly. Whether it be 2 or 3-year-olds, well, no, that's not true. 2-year-olds for sure. I have no way to know what everybody else has, so just saying that this one's a stake horse or this one's a stallion or Buckeye or whatever, grassroots, it doesn't matter. No one knows until they all get together. The 3-year-olds, I have a little better idea, although I haven't seen the full landscape in Pennsylvania, Ohio, or a number of those places. You had a pretty good idea how the horses came back and who they raced against or who raced in the stake races last year. There's always going to be sleepers, but you have a decent idea. So let's get right to it. I'm sure this is going to kick me out at some point. I'll go briefly with the 2-year-olds. AC/DC, I would like to see him do a little bit more work, but he did come in late. You know, he is a little bit of a smaller colt. He's been in 216. Can't ask him to do much more than that right now, but he will need to do a lot more as we get closer to the summer. I suspect he'll get to the races. When will he be at his best? I can't answer that, but I will say this. He went from being on the line and getting out of gear a little bit, making breaks, to being smooth. Just need to work on getting him more speed into him, more durability into him, but that will come with work as we get closer to the summer. Bianca Biaggia had a little swelling on his right ankle outside. Now, this is a big, gigantic horse. We had it looked at. Nothing too concerning, but we have decided we're going to back off a little bit with him. Talked to Mr. Swagger yesterday. Very nice man. Never met him before. The owner of Bianco. And Bianco, and he said same thing, just take your time, no big deal. He's ready when he's ready, and that's exactly what we plan on doing. Blue Rare, I was happy with Blue Rare the other day. I noticed her sweated up a lot. She just seemed a little frazzled the last little while. I think I don't detect any lameness, any difference, although I'm watching closely. And if you're going to say, okay, what do you think's bothering her right now? I think her back is bothering her a little bit right now. You know, we poured a little speed to her. Probably took a little bit of weight off the front end. Those 3 weeks that we had the 3 weeks that we had the flip flops off her. Did it bother her? Potentially, maybe. But she trained good the other day. I was really happy with the way she trained. I just think she could be a lot better, but I'm not going to ask much more of her until I know she's comfortable enough to give us 100%. Capistrano Knights is training down good. I've been happy with her. Captain Doolittle, getting better. He might be our, he was no good until he got to the gate horse, but he seemed to have 1 or 2 every single year. This guy was good the other day, went a mile in like 2:12, 2:13 with Amy, and she said, I don't know if he's a speed demon, but man, he better than I thought he was going to be honest. I believe was almost her quote. And Captain Doolittle was good and is looking better, so who knows? Cherry's Girl's starting to come forward in a big way. I really like this filly. I like everything about her. I love when the horses are kind of crazy. Globetrotting was the same way. I don't know why I thought about that just like that, but when she was a baby training down, made a lot of breaks, was really rude and ignorant. You could tell there was something there, but really rude and ignorant, and then all of a sudden she got better, and away she took off. And man, she certainly did. I would love to see Cherry's Girl do the same. Eric just pulled up beside me yesterday and goes, totally different filly. He said, I went with her the last 2 weeks ago, she was making breaks. You really had to watch her. I said, we made a few changes with her and worked on her. She's much better now. And he said, much better. He said she was absolutely perfect today. Diosa Della Danza, you can't ask anything more. Just keep doing what you're doing. She is very, very, very good right now. Don't ask again. I hope, this is Pickpocket's sister. I hope that this filly comes forward in such a manner that, in the same way Cherry's girl did, right? Get to a point where they come to a fork in the road and they pick the right path. I don't think she's got to that fork in the road yet. And I certainly hope she doesn't pick the wrong path, but she's not there yet. She's coming. I hope she's not there yet. Dune, another one, just continues to do things right. I've been happy with her. Emerald Tom made a break on Tyler yesterday. He said he commanded about bell boots on him, and I think he said he was fine after. It's fine. Go Strong Hanover. Again, we just took the flip-flops off. We made a break on Jason, and Jason alluded to the fact that it was the flip-flops. He did touch his jack yesterday, and Pretty Eyes and Lies, oddly enough, they made a break in the exact same place, and they touched their jack in the exact same place. So a little higher boot to cover that up, I think, and we'll be just fine with both of them. Head to nose good, continues to be good. Really happy with the way this gold is rounding into shape. He's a Fearless Peter, another one that continues to do his work well. I'm happy with him. Highest honors, we didn't get the blood back yet, but I can guarantee you I know what it's going to say. Elevated AST. Otherwise, he's been fantastic for us. Yesterday, he was a little lethargic. He did look a little stiff coming into the bath rack. Almost certain, almost 100% certain that he tied up a little bit. Where are we at here? In New York. I know it's hard to hear him make breaks. It's hard to watch him make breaks and to hear me say how he's getting better, because 1 + 1 does not seem to equal 2 in this case. But you have to know where he came from, where he is, and where I believe he's headed. And I want to believe the work we're putting in now will help him get there. That's my belief anyway. Jailbird Jog was absolutely fantastic the other day. Put her on the front and she absolutely destroyed everybody. But it's the way she did it. The way that she did her work. Now, it's not perfect because I did it on the front end, so it's not like I floated her over, followed, moved to the front, let one go, come back around. It was not that. What it was her going to the front, controlling the fractions, and then just unloading on them in the last 3/8. And I know a lot of the time you say, well, you know, she beat up on them, but I mean, what happens if they had got to her? I'm sure she would have been fine. She was so strong. It was really something to watch. I did not expect her to be that good. And it wasn't that I emptied her out or really asked her. There was tons left. For her to go to a mile she did the other day, like a mile 2:13, last half of 1:03 in the jog cart at a 1.5 miles, that was a hell of a 1.5 miles the other day. And she looked very, very good. Really, really pleased with what I saw from Jailbird Jog. Joe J. Fotag, you know, and I know, listen, I love Joel. Great guy. He bred this filly. He bred Sweeney and the filly before him. He had the mare, and I love being partners with him. And I wish to God that Joe J. Fotag just was better overall right now than she is. She's dappled up. I'll tell you what she is. She's probably the best looking horse in the barn. She's covered. You watch her in the sunlight. She's covered in dapples. Looks like $1 million. She just needs to do more. And my hope is that she's one of those horses that they see the gate and they come forward. And if she's not, then she's not going to see July at the stable, I don't think. But she's definitely going to see June. Jolene Hall, I thought she was fantastic the other day. Pretty easy fix, really, with her. She had a Murphy blind outside. She was running in too much, made a break. Jason thought that she'd pull up a little bit with the Murphy on the other side. It rolls back to what I was talking about, being proactive when you're training the babies. You need to let her know that what she's thinking about potentially doing up there in the turn, she can't do. And if you wait for her to start to do it, you've already lost her. She's going to do it. So you need to make sure she understands that she can't do that. And in training the other day, she was very, very, very good. I was a strong second after making a break in the first turn. She just got twisted around a little much. Don't know if I want to go to a head pull or not on her yet, but she was very, very good afterwards. Amy won that set with somebody, and she destroyed everybody. I was second, I think. I was second for sure with Jolene, and she looked very good. Judy's money, poor Judy. Flat tire. Hobbles a little tight the other day. She was tuckered out when she finished training the other day, but did her work as well as she could do it. Leland Hanover continues to do good. I don't have to talk too much about Leland Hanover. Lifting Legend continues to do good work in Ontario. I wish I could give you guys more first-hand view. Now this week we are going to Mohawk early in the morning to train the babies, so I can give you a better idea. Somebody said, well, can you take the drone? No, we're not allowed to have the drone at Mohawk for obvious reasons. It's their track. But I can certainly give you an update of what took place at Mohawk. Love Sensation was good. Tied up a little bit on Amy the other day. She thought there was 3 horses that tied up a little bit. I believe she was one of them. Megan's Lucky Day was good training also. Really happy with Megan. Millie Girl was lights out. Every pacer in that set. Now I know Highest Honors was back a little bit, but I told you guys he tied up. He had been awesome all along the last 2 months, and speed is not the issue. So I'm not concerned with Highest Honors, but every pacer in that set was very, very good the other day. And Millie Girl was certainly one of them. My name is Swaney. A couple of people asked me what went on this week. She seemed a little sore in her feet. We pulled her shoes off last Friday, poulticed her feet up, put them back on Monday, jogged her Monday, Tuesday. She was good. I did not want to train her on Wednesday, so we didn't. We jogged her. I think actually I asked Tyler Angus at the end of the day to go out last with her, and we found out that they were doing baby schooling out there during that time. I said, well, put her on the gate. If she feels good, go a mile and 30 with her. He did. So she did actually train, just very, very slow. He said she was actually pretty good. Neuromancer made a break the other day. Hit himself and made a break. We were just going to work through this phase with this horse, that's all. Perfection Hanover, we did castrate Perfection Hanover. We did not castrate the other colt yet. We'll leave him be for now, but Perfection Hanover was Perfect Thought. 4 wide coming out of the last turn was very, very good the other day. Also, Pretty Eyes and Lies made that same break in the exact same place as the trotting colt that Coach Strong Hanover was talking about, and oddly enough touched up on her jack in the same place. So you don't need to call the investigative arm the stable in. I think we can figure out what took place. But what she did when she got back trotting was rather impressive. Come back trotting, caught the field, second over. I looped her 3 deep down the backstretch, circled up around everybody, and power bombed them coming out of the turn. She won by 4 or 5 lengths and looked exceptionally good doing it. Really, really, really pleased with what I saw from that filly this week. Rico Tubbs made a little break on Johnny, but again, I told him when he went on the track the hobbles looked a little long. There's always that voice saying, well, he trotted all winter without them. It shouldn't have to be that tight, but I'd like to have them on a workable length. And they just looked a little long, and they were. He ended up making a break, so I'm not worried about Rico. I'd train him in 2.8 right now if I wanted to, for sure. Ride the Rodeo's training good. I'll know more at Mohawk on Saturday. But the Ontario horses, the only negative comment I got out of Ontario in the last week was that Sterling had made a break last week when training, but all was well after that. So everybody appears to be going in the right direction. I was thoroughly pleased with what I saw from the horses when I was home 2 weeks ago. Rose Run Bobby is good. Yes, she made a break on me the same way she made a break on Amy. I thought we had a snake cord on her, and we did not. And when I got close to Jason, she just got a little bully and a little grabby, and I had no tools to settle her. So she just got a little anxious and made a break, but I'm not too worried about that. Royal Duchess was good again, continues to do her work. She's not a killer. She's in the middle of the pack, just does her work, never runs. Can't fault her for that. I can't wait to see what she races like this year. Royal Flush Deal was good, trained well, 214. He was good. Simply Chaotic has been training great. I can't wait to see him Saturday at Mohawk. Solidarity, same thing. Somebody messaged me and said, can you please go with Solidarity? I cannot go with Solidarity this weekend. I'm not going to go with him. I'm going to go with Sterling Hanover for sure. And if we go with 2 sets, there's a chance I will, but the reality is we're likely going with 1 set, and I am going with Sterling Hanover. I am not in the least worried about Solidarity just yet. I know everybody wants to hear the horses went great and everything's perfect. Solidarity has been doing his work great. He's been in 215, 216 a number of times. Horse is fine. So I know he made a break on Danny, but Danny said he jumped over something when he did. It's very possible. So I told him, just put a screen or a shadow roll on him. Yes, see if he's any better. Probably a good idea to take a shadow roll down for him. If he's looking at stuff on the track at first line, he's most definitely going to look at that giant shadow in the first turn at Mohawk. So it might be better just to take it down anyway. And that was Solidarity. Steady Volo is going to probably go to Mohawk, I guess. He might train by himself in like 225. I don't want him going in like 210, 212. I think James said he wanted to go in 15. So that might be okay for him, maybe. Steph's Hope, training great. She has made a massive push forward in the last month. Biggest mover in the last month, I think, for sure, is her. Sterling Hanover, we just talked about him. I'm going to go with him on Saturday. I know somebody said, well, I'm really worried about him. Why are you worried about him? He started a month behind everybody, and it's May the 1st. I don't know why there'd be any concern about Sterling Hanover at this point. Horse has done his work fine and been training good up until the last week and a half. And the common denominator, quite frankly, is we did take the flip-flops off him 2 weeks ago. It might just be as easy as his feet sting him a little bit, maybe a little hard on those ankles, and maybe we need to put the flip-flops back on him. It's very possible. Supermind trained awesome the other day, continues to train great. Tomboy Strong, she's starting to edge away, quite frankly, from the other fillies right now. She looks very, very good. Uncle Danny's starting to edge away just a little bit from the Colts. He looked very good also. Woodmere Bullet's been in 220 in PEI. Smitty said he's been going very good also. Now, I have them in alphabetical order, but also by age. So I'm just going to keep going 2, then 3, then so on and so forth. We're going to start with the 3-year-olds. Aunt Lily in a good spot, training great, coming in, looking, already won a race, but didn't look great that night, but has looked great since. So Aunt Lily looks very good, but I'm going to start with Arrowhead Hanover. He was fantastic yesterday in a victory in 54-3. He will go to the Sire Stake race next Saturday at the Meadows, and then 6 days after that, the following Friday, will be the Bunker Hill on the 9th. Now, I may be wrong with the days. I'm not wrong with the dates. May the 9th is his first stake race in the Sire Stake at the Meadows, and May the 15th is the Bunker Hill in Massachusetts, just so you're clear. Him and our other little man there, Memento Mori, are both going to be going to the Bunker Hill. So that's Arrowhead, that's Aunt Lily. Blue Ventura, we did put him in the Stallion series. He won his race in 53-4. It's pretty hard not to take him to the Stallion series event on Saturday. I know it's back in 4 days. It's a lot to ask, but it's not like he's going to have a ton of opportunity to race in stake races, right? I don't know. I'm not sure. I would guess he's just off the fringe of the Stallion Series events, but having him race in there, potentially getting some points in there, means that at some point, if we do put him up for sale, then there's a horse with Stallion Series points that people may be interested in. Captain Incredible, I guess we'll probably race him in the Non-Marsa 2 next week. And we'll see how he goes. He's in lots more than his qualifier, so I'm not worried about speed. I think he'll be better next week. Not that he was bad. Chicago Hall is in a good spot this week, although he's 5-1. I'm a little surprised. Foxy Seaside's 15-1 morning line. Just continue to move forward with those horses. Freedom Hill is racing today. Our only starter today is Freedom Hill. She will be racing in the Non-Marsa 2 at Non-Marsa 2? No, 4. I'm not sure. She's racing at Miami Valley. Gaslight Hall has been awesome, and Little Judas jumped off him to drive something to Roger Mayot's on tomorrow night. Billy Davis is going to drive Gaslight Hall. I don't foresee any problems there. Gorgeous Package racing, get a good spot, a good class. They're tough horses, but she was good too. Brett's going to drive her Saturday at Miami Valley. Grand Slam Deal was good yesterday, and I think she's going to get better and better and better. I want to actually message Tim after this video about Grand Slam Deals. It's right here. Great. Grand Slam. A few little changes maybe for her coming up this week. Gymboree, I actually galloped her a little bit today. You remember when we brought Rose Ron Alexander over, and I galloped her, and I said she just didn't feel like she was super tight, super sharp, or super deep right now, like she was fit. That's the feeling I just got from Gymboree this morning. Now, she's not going to race till next Wednesday, so this galloping mile will probably go a long way. But what it also leads me to believe is we haven't seen even remotely of her best yet. She's starting to look better. Lauren said her appetite is picking up. I think you're going to see a much better. I can't forecast her being perfect on Wednesday, but I will tell you this: her best is yet to come. That's what I'm certain of. Manhattan Money got the rail tomorrow. It's a deep group. He's going to the Stallion series next week also. Coming off a win in 56. I guess it's nothing to sneeze at. The horse raced very, very good his first start over there. Melisandre was awesome yesterday. She's really grown on me. And I think the trip she went yesterday would lead me to believe that there's lots more under the hood. And one of those horses is going to be a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And as we push through into Lexington, I think you're going to see some good work from Melisandre. Memento Mori, I'm going to train him tomorrow. That'll be one of my only jobs. My only task tomorrow morning will be to train Memento Mori. Mountaineer Prince, I told Jason, just go ahead and race him until Michigan and feel free not to list me on him. Him and I had a little bit of a separation. We're going through a soft divorce, as they say. Mountaineer Prince, it bothers me when I sit behind horses that make dumb mistakes that they don't have to make. In fact, in his case, he almost chooses to make them sometimes, and I can't condone it, nor do I like it. Where'd that guy go? It's weird. And it frustrates me to no end. So I'm just going to leave Mountaineer Prince. Justin can drive him for a little bit. Never Lose Felix feels like he's getting better every week. He's putting a little bit of weight on it. It seems like every time he adds a bit of weight, he goes a bit faster. So I'm really, really happy with what I've seen from Never Lose Felix. I don't think we're going to see him winning 55 or 56 anytime soon, but he might be able to follow some speed and get some good miles on him. Not horrible right now, to be honest. Oh, He'll Know is ready to go again. She might have one race. I told Dom, he said, when's she leaving? I said, well, you got to get her raced first off, get her qualified at the very least, and then we'll see. But I think she's got her first stake race May the 17th or 16th or 19th. You don't have to tell me. I'll find out this week. I'll make calendars for them all this weekend. Resolve Indeed is racing, and speaking of Jody, he's going to drive Resolve Indeed tomorrow night for us, so good luck to him. Rose Run AJ drew the 10 hole. Somebody messaged me, said, Anthony, it's got to be a mistake. He's in a claimer. No, I don't think there's a mistake. No, I just checked. No mistake. We're going to put him in where he can do the best he can do, and the idea that he somehow isn't, that he's somehow too good for the numbers of 4 claimer, and that he's worth more than the $34,000 tag or whatever is on him. I don't share that philosophy. I mean, he's a nice horse. He went in 53. I'm going to tell you something right now, and utmost respect for my partners and for the horse. There's about 45 horses in Ohio minimum that can pace 53 this summer. So the idea that he's somehow going to be a layover in a Buckeye is just not accurate. He's going to be a player. That's likely what he's worth. He's at 35. I don't see him going out just making wads of money hand over fist in the Buckeye. No, he's going to have to race for it. He's going to have to earn it. I think the spot we got him in is the right spot for him to be in. Rose Run Alexander drew the 8. She'll be in a claimer next week too, the condition claimer. And we're going to see her get a little bit better and a little bit better. And where she ends, I don't know. I have no idea. But we're all going to find out together. Speed of Sound will be qualifying tomorrow morning, I would imagine. They said she schooled in 2-1, so I was happy to hear that. Woodmere Betcha qualified great. My apologies to all my partners. I went through at least 2 days of videos, and I never mentioned her qualifier. It was a very, very good qualifier. I think 58, 28, 27, and 4 at the end of it, and she looked very good. It looks like we're going to have a lot of fun with Woodmere Betcha this summer in Prince Edward Island. Next, we'll continue to go forward. Stop right there. We'll continue to go forward. Admiral Dio also eligible this week, but he hasn't missed many weeks. And, although I think he is what he is, it's been enough. He's been racing pretty good. And I don't think the week off will hurt him. So we'll get him back in as soon as we can, but I believe he's also eligible on Wednesday. Drabin, I told you guys, is already in the pool doing a little work. We'll see how he comes. Let me see. We'll re-x-ray him in 3 weeks, probably 4 weeks, and then have a better idea of where we're at with him. But if you didn't know, he ended up with a small little line at the bottom of his lateral line, which is very rare, in the bottom of his foot. It was hard to find. Dr. McKee found it. Same type of line that White Tiger headed to, same type of line that No Free Lunch had it too. They heal up and they never bother them again. So not something that to be any sort of concerned about. Not really sure where it came from or what happened, but it will be gone. He needed time off anyway. It's just going to get a little bit more. Not much, probably an extra 3 weeks from what he would have had. But nevertheless, that is a scoop on him. Really, as I said to my partners, quite frankly, if you're gonna say to me, here's a list of all the things it could be that made him sore his last 2 races, I need you to circle 1 or 2, which would be best case scenario. This injury right here would have been one of those 2 best if we had to pick one. Mounds for all. First start with the hobbles the other day, raced good. Stacey said he bled a little bit, 1 out of 5. Just put him on Lasix. That's all. So he's going to make his second start with his hobbles and his first start on Lasix next Wednesday, I assume, in Miami Valley. Tenacious Hanover's back and now jogging with Tim, so you should be fine. Time is on my side left this morning for Mohawk. He'll be there. He's probably there right now, actually. Eager to see what he does. Not overly eager about Saturday night. You know what you're going to get. He's been off 5.5 weeks, and James is driving him. He's going to drop him in a hole, probably 6th or 7th, and race him on the end of it. But in this case, that's exactly what he needs. And then next week, we're off to the Juravinski at Flamborough. Vehement got the rail 6-5 with the rail on, but Aaron knows this horse. He's driven him 2 or 3 times. He knows him very well, and he's actually better now than he's ever been for Aaron before. So I think he'll get along really, really well with this guy this weekend. Where are we at here? Vehement is right there. Save America threw in a clunker the other day, scoped with a little bit of mucus, a little bit of tiny bit of blood, maybe a half. Jason said a 1 out of 5. But that was likely caused by the mucus. So clean up the mucus, clean up the airway, and the blood will disappear. So the clunker, as it were, is easily explained. And he did also have a tiny high AST also. So week off, we're going to race him the week after, either at Northfield or Scioto, I guess. Spitfire Overseas in tomorrow. I told you guys we had some horses sitting on wins. We do. But a lot of it depends on the draw. I'm still saying that Spitfire's sitting on a win, but he's going to have to work for it tomorrow. There's no layovers in that race for sure. There's a couple of tough customers in that race waiting for him, but I think he's coming in razor sharp, and I still think he'll pull it out. Texan Soprano's racing tomorrow, also in a good spot. He's picked, is it tomorrow? It might actually be Saturday, I'm not sure. He's racing. Let's just leave it at that. Greatest ending park the entire way his last 2 starts. So not what you call a good mile. His AST did jump quite a bit. We were caught with an AST of 5,000 after that race. His next start will be next week, either in Scioto or in Northfield Park. JK Victory is also in Ontario right now. He's going to race for Harry on Saturday evening. James is going to drive him from the rail. Looks like money outside post tomorrow, but that's good. 7 hole for that guy is a perfect spot to be. I got Burks just to the left of me, 5 and 6. Money usually races good from the 6 and 7 hole, and he did race good last week, but he was a hair short. He won't be short tomorrow, so we'll see how it looks like money races. Neptune is in here on Sunday evening. I probably could have came back, to be honest. All these tournaments over at 3 or 4 o'clock. No, his last game's at 3, so I couldn't have made it for the early part of the card. I might have made it back for this horse, but I just didn't want to be in a position where I had to call Jason and said I couldn't make it, and then we were left with God knows who to drive the horse. Aaron was available to drive him, so I said, you know what, I can just take my time coming back to Ontario, and Aaron can drive the horse. Rock Shining Star has been fantastic. Here's the horse that paced his last 3 quarters, 122-1 last week to finish 6th. But the outside draws have hopefully, I know he drew somewhere this week. I hope it's not the outside. I don't think it is. 3-point blue chip sitting. The horses I said were sitting on wins are still sitting on wins. Looks like money. 3-point blue chip and Spitfire Overseas are all in tomorrow. Who's the 4th horse? I think all 4 of them are sitting on good races. Tros is in Saturday night. He should be a little bit better. Did have some mucus and blood last week. Harry knows that, and he's been drying him up all week. Yo Mister, a little bit sick the other day, so Stacy scratched him. He'll be back probably the first start will be in Scioto next week, I would imagine. And then we have Delicious Stone DK. I knew there was an issue. I knew it. And it wasn't the first day. This was the second start it was coming. He had a pus pocket, quarter crack in his foot. He was quite sore on it after the race. I'd asked Dominic to put a different bar shoe on him. If he's popping quarter cracks with the bars that we have on, then we simply have the wrong bars on. Simple as that. So we need to do a better job getting his footwear squared away. And Patrick the Piranha, I'm not driving him on Saturday. Jeremy Indoff is going to drive him. It's pretty simple. Just hit the wood, get a good trip with him, try and get paid. It's the best we can do. I had an interesting phone call the other day. Every year we have some of our clients from Minnesota saying we should send horses to Running Aces. We have. We sent a horse to Running Aces 2 years ago, did very, very good with them. And I would think about doing it again. It's not easy. It's not an easy spot. And I had another gentleman, Mr. Barry, had called me, Ryan Barry had called me and said, do you think you could send a horse to Maine? You know, if you have anything that just needs a little freshening up, you know, we get a lot of turnouts here and we race a lot in the Maine racetracks all summer long, and they're not super tough. And immediately I thought of Patrick the Piranha. I already raced Massachusetts just up the road. I said, well, what do you think a horse like him would fit? He said, well, he'd make his way through the classes and end up in the top class. Top class goes for 9,000, I think. He said, but he would, I don't want to say he'd be dominant, but I got the feeling he'd be dominant. So I'm mulling it. I'm thinking about it. And, you know, obviously I would go drive in Maine. I'd love to. I've never been. I know a lot of Maine horsemen from the Maritimes made their way to Maine and raced back and forth. St. John and New Brunswick was racing when I was a kid. The Campbell family I know very, very well. I think it would be interesting. I don't think I would say no. I guess I'm quietly mulling it over, but there's a chance you might see a Patrick or even a Neptune potentially end up in a smaller venue like that could race in a smaller venue, maybe do some good, be the big fish in the small pond. If there was a horse that deserved to be a big fish in a small pond, it's Patrick the Piranha. He's done so well for us, and you know, feels like we're the small fish in a big pond right now. So I guess I could be talked into that, and I will mull it over. So that's an update. I think I got every horse. I honestly do. I think I got every horse. Amy and I will grade and talk about all the babies with you. As I said, I think you know the playing field now. You know where everybody sits, what I think of them, where I think they're going to be. I think our strongest division is 2-year-old trotting fillies and colts in Ohio. I think we have a number of pretty powerful looking horses for the stake season in Ohio. And then the pacer and trotter, and then we have 3 pacers, 2 pacing colts and a pacing filly, 2 pacing fillies and a pacing colt, I believe. Look like they're all in let's say good working order as we start to get closer to the summer. Pennsylvania, we have some good power there. Also, Ontario, New Jersey, Kentucky. I've been happy with what I've seen from the horses training down. I am hearing whispers about who's been what, how they like their horses, what horses they are. I'm optimistic, as I always am anyway. But as from what I hear, heading into the home stretch of the training season into stake racing season, I am excited. So with that, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to talk to you soon. To all my partners in Freedom Hill, good luck to you today, and everybody racing the rest of the week. I'll give you another quick rundown as I did this morning. That's pretty easy to do. Where's the other stable app? I don't see it. Oh, it's coming up now. Or it's not coming up now. I'm not sure. Here, refresh. Here it is. Looks like Money, Manhattan Money, Spit. Well, Manhattan Money was the other horse. All 4 of those horses got good shots tomorrow. I don't mind saying that. I expect good things from all 4 of those horses tomorrow. Looks like Money, Manhattan Money, Spitfire was season 3-point blue chip. Then we're going to switch gears and I'm going to watch the races. Chicago Hall, Gaslight Hall, Foxy Seaside from Ontario. We're going to turn over and watch Tex Song Soprano in New York, and then switch right back for the finale, which will be Resolve Indeed out of Ontario. Saturday, we are super busy on Saturday also. Aunt Lily, gorgeous package. What have they picked? I haven't seen this yet. 7-2 on Aunt Lily, going for $75,000. 7-2 on Gorgeous Package, going for $75,000. That is a good run. 6-1 on Patrick the Piranha. Rock Shining Star is 9-2. Trosa, 10-1. He's coming off a bad mile. Vehement 6-5. He's picked to win. 10-1 on Time Is On My Side. 10-1 on Rose and Alexander. I don't like how that looks. Pick to win 5-2. JK Victory. I don't know about that one. He's been off a little time. He'll need some help. Blue Ventura. I think they made a little boo-boo here. 2-1. Pick to win. This horse won a condition claimers last start. I'm not a handicapper. I haven't seen the field, but 2-1 might be a little ambitious for Blue Ventura. But who knows? I said I haven't seen the field yet. And then, of course, on Sunday night, our only starter is Neptune. So you're all caught up. I can't think of one thing I've missed. We moved some horses from Ontario over to Ohio, that being Neptune and Rose Run AJ. We moved 2 horses from Pennsylvania to Ontario, that being Time Is On My Side. He's going to prep in the Open this week for the Juravinsky and the Graduate coming up. And we also moved JK Victory over there. There was a pop-up series for him. Looks like a good fit on paper anyway. So I'm happy with what I've seen so far. Now, I'll talk to you all soon. I hope, again, you've had a great week. The babies have been training good. The 3-year-olds have come back good. The ones that didn't are gone. The ones that haven't now are. I've been happy with the entire transition throughout April. So take care. Again, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you all very soon.